Welcome back, you guys. We have some big breaking news that just came up very recently. It's in regards to Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm about to say, but our boy, our star boy, our golden boy, Calteck himself is fully innocent. The charges against him, the allegations, the fake allegations, they're done and dusted, they're in the dirt. He's free, he's clear, he beat the case, and he beat the case because he's innocent. Not because he had to do any madness or pay any people off. He is innocent. It's great to know you guys. And you know what? I'm going to go through the official statement that Callum released on his Twitter page. Let me go to it right now, you guys. As you can see on screen here, Callum says, at a time where there are bigger things happening in the world right now, of course, with the riots, the Black Lives Matter protests, etc., etc., it's good to know that he understands that there are more important things there, and it's not good to highlight any of this negativity during a time like this. So that is good. But I continue on. He says that you may also be aware of the serious allegations that were made against me. I've stayed silent and assisted the police fully throughout the inquiries, as I knew the day would soon come when my name would be cleared. Following a full and thorough investigation, the police now confirms they will take no further actions. I would like to use this platform to thank everyone who has stood by my side and supported me during this difficult period. I've learned that being a footballer and playing for one of the best clubs in the world comes with a great responsibility, and going forward I will try to use my platform as a Chelsea player to be the best role model that I can be. So there you have it, you guys. Hudson Odoi, very nice statement released today. Not going into too much detail, just using this as an opportunity to just clear his name and announce that, listen, all these allegations against me, the speculation, that can now die, that can now end. I can now, focus on living my life without having this burden just like falling on top of my shoulders. I can focus now solely on playing ball, kicking ball, playing football for this club, because of course with Callum it's going to be difficult in the sense that not just for him but all our players. We're trying to sign new players, we're trying to improve the squad. It means that players will have to fight for their sport and compete. So it's nice to know that this episode in his young life is now behind him. Of course, he's going to use this as an opportunity to just learn and grow. I mean, we got to keep things real this second, you guys. We've all been 18, 19. We've all had that type of mentality where, you're not fully patterned with life. You don't know the full perspective on things. You're kind of like, see everything from a peephole, Like when it comes to like moving girls and doing X, Y, Z, everyone does silly things. You know what I mean? I think in Callum's situation, though, I think we can all like safely agree we're not balling on the same budget. There's levels to it. We don't have the same money. If we did back when we were youngers, when we were young, I'm telling you, things would be completely different for all of us. But it's good to know that Callum has overcome this, and he can only learn lessons from this. Real talk, Callum can only learn lessons from this. I mean, I'm not going to touch upon the allegations too much, but of course, when you're having people come to your yard on a Sunday during lockdown, like early hours of Sunday morning, you can't be expecting too much positivity to come from that. It doesn't really work like that in that sense. And I think from now on, I'm not expecting him to do anything like that anymore. The situation's just mad, you guys, I gotta keep things real for a second. Now obviously I have heard a few things about this story, but naturally I'm not stupid, I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna be here adding to the speculation, adding to the drama, profiting from this nonsense. I'm not here to do that. You guys know I am not that type of guy. But of course I have heard obviously a few things about this story. Once I heard a few details, I knew from way back then that Hudson Odoi was innocent, and would be a matter of time before it was officially announced and confirmed to everyone. I'm not going to be saying who the girl is or nothing like that, but all I'm saying is that, some of the speculation I've seen about how people say things like gold digging, how people are mentioning XYZ about, how this situation could have played out in the first place. You guys are kind of right. It was one of them type of situations. I'm not going to bait the girl's name out whatsoever. I'm not going to say nothing. But, what I'm saying is sometimes in this industry, when you're a high profile athlete, you can attract a particular type of person that will look to finesse, that has their own what's the word called? They have their own motives behind the scenes. They were planning to do things to benefit themselves. This person has a rep for doing this type of stuff, is what I'm going to say, and I'm leaving it at that. No more speculation from that part. But as I said, the minute I knew what was happening, the details, etc., I knew it was a matter of time before his innocence was going to be proven. It's good to know that he fully cooperated with the police, because of course you're innocent, you're going to do stuff like that. You're not going to long things out, you're not going to get lawyers involved, etc. But anyway, it seems like now this episode is past him. It's now time for Callum to focus fully on the football right now. Things have been difficult. Very young player. He's had the high-profile press surrounding his contract extension. To this day, people are still using the contract situation against the player, which is unfair in my opinion, because come on, I keep mentioning this all the time. Is the player himself dictating to his team and his reps what to do? Is Callum at 18 dictating to grown men who know how to run this side of the business, what he wants, how it's gonna work, and how it's gonna run? Of course not. He has his advisors. His advisors are gonna advise him what to do in that situation, and obviously his advisors were right, because Callum got a sick contract that reflects his potential, his ability, and what he's gonna bring to this club. You guys, we have to consider things like player costs. For us, one massive advantage of producing players from our world-class academy is that our player cost per year becomes even less, because effectively when we have these guys playing in the first team and being part of the squad, they have no chance of fee on their heads. We're literally only paying for their wages. So you can be in a situation where you can overspend. Let's not pretend that Pulisic, let's not pretend like Reece James, Mason Mount, Loftus-Cheek aren't on big contracts. Let's not pretend any of this stuff here. It's a reality. It's only obvious that one of our best young players, a player that everyone has fully rated since the academy days, of course, is going to have a contract that reflects that. So I'm really hoping that the fan base can start to maybe, ease up a tiny bit. I feel like it's quite typical of, press in this country, young black athlete trying to obviously, use things against him, create a negative picture, negative atmosphere, negative vibes every single time, making people just think, see the situation in very binary ways. I'm sorry. Why do we care about the contract or the money? Why does that matter? Why do we still keep using this against Callum as if he was the one who was the mastermind behind all of this? Of course not. You know what I mean? If you're really that angry still, then direct your anger at his reps or his agents. That's what I have to say on the matter, you guys. I feel like, we have to stand behind him, give him that confidence. I remember back when he was playing under Sarri, you saw this period where him and Ruben were like two of our best players, and they were playing. They were taking the game to opponents, creating assists, attacking contributions every single time. They were making something happen. Now this is the Callum we should remember. As you guys can see on screen, he was absolutely balling out in the Europa League, in the league, and cup competitions too. This is the Callum we need to remember. Hudson Odoi had very serious injuries. We know his injuries were mad. We can't forget that. An injury like that really does affect a player, not only physically, but also mentally, because you now have to trust your body. You need to have faith in your body. When it comes to running past opponents, that there's a big chance that you can have your ankles tapped, you can be fouled, you can go down. And it's about being in that mentality and being confident enough in your body to know that, okay, I accept that's going to happen, and that's not going to affect my game. No, I feel like there's been this misconception around Callum being bad this season, which is absolutely not the case. I think if you want to be more focused with your critique, I would say that with Callum, maybe, he has played things very safe. You think of a guy like Hudson Odoi, you're thinking of, him producing 4-star, 5-star skills, big moments every single time, just really captivating the entire stadium. That will come. I think now that players have had this off-season period where they can focus on their training, rehabilitating their health, etc. I do feel like Callum's going to come back with a new found mentality and confidence and really start to express himself even more. But the great thing about Callum, and the thing that's always separated him from other young players on his age group, for me, is that he plays the game like he's been playing it for a long time. Let me use an example in Rashford. How many times have we seen this guy back as he was progressing? I mean, now he's a much better player, but back then, you guys, head down, running down the flanks, dribbling success rate literally is just in the gutter. Wasn't good enough. That's normally typical for young players to play. You know, they just want to make things happen, overdo every single thing. Not with Callum. Callum is a 2-in-1 player. He has exceptional playmaking ability. He plays for the team. He's not going to do silly things for the sake of it. And that's why Lampard was still using him, because Lampard wanted him to get that newfound confidence back. It is going to come, you guys. I feel these situations in Callum's life is only going to make him mentally stronger. Now he knows what it's like to be an athlete and pro at this level. You know, there is a lot of responsibility. There are a lot of people that will be out there to get you. They'll try to profit from you. They'll try to sell you to the press. They'll try to tarnish your name, to do whatever they can to profit from you. If I tell you some of the mad stories, I used to have this one guy who's my friend called Remy. He used to play, used to be like an ex-baller, used to play pro. He told me stories when he was playing for Stevenage, yeah? He told me stories of how they go to the club, teammates just having fun doing their thing, yeah? How can all the girls of the club already know the players' names, shirt numbers, etc., etc.? Literally just have their whole lives absolutely like acting like investigators. They knew everything. The point I'm trying to make is that when you're at this level in life, level in life is the wrong words. When you're part of this like high profile community, you know, you do attract the vultures, the people that are trying to self-profit, that are trying to get something from you. That is typical, that is natural, and you don't know the level and the extent some people will go to self-benefit and get something for themselves. So I think Callum at a very young age, because I can imagine, 19, 18, trying to have a little bit of fun, even though during lockdown times, absolutely ridiculous in the first place. Let's not get that twisted. I can see why a young guy would take chances, would take risks. But now that you should know and remember that he's playing for this club, representing this club, there's a responsibility. He didn't get away with it because he was innocent. He got away with absolutely nothing. But I feel like now is the time for Callum to just literally focus on his ball, get the people speaking about that. That's bound to come. Positive news, you guys, is in the sense that it seems like he is fit and back in training. So if I was to just maybe speculate, maybe, Callum was fit in the first place already. You know what I mean? Of course, he's got all these things happening in the background. Let the young guy focus on one thing at a time. That's mere speculation on my part. But I'm just saying the fact that we found out this morning that he wasn't part of training and now he is. You don't recover just like that, you guys. But on that point, you guys, I'm going to absolutely wrap things up now. It's great to know that Callum is innocent. He's learnt a valuable lesson about this industry, what it means to be a high-profile person. And now, he needs to follow the examples of the other guys at this club who aren't doing no minus in your Tabbies, your Rubens, your Masons, and just stick to doing that. But you guys, on that point, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. There will be another video release today. Jam-packed content today, you guys. I absolutely got you. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll see you guys later with some more videos.